Now, Manua, Panada GBC News, your Kehama, Bifa, Dafitrane, Eano Ho, Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, Facebook, Ke YouTube, no, Achomina, Oyo Quarter. Good afternoon. This is News Live on GBC News, your news and governance channel. Also live on GTV and also streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube, Ghana Broadcasting Corporation. Now, 54 students have returned home this morning as part of government evacuation exercise for Ghanaians living in Ukraine and fleeing the Russia-Ukraine unrest. The third batch of Ghanaian nationals arrived at the Kotoka International Airport from Romania via Qatar Airlines.
Numbering 54 arrived in the country on Monday morning with Qatar Airlines. The students returned home as part of the government's evacuation program for stranded Ghanaian students in the wake of the tensions between Russia and Ukraine. Briefing the students on arrival, the Chief Executive of the Mental Health Authority, Dr. Akwesi Osei, encouraged the students to put themselves together psychologically.
The assurance we are giving you that government is fully behind you, all Ghana is fully behind you, and we are also there for you. We are praying that things will normalize soon, and those who will need to go back, you can go back. But for now, you are home, and the most important is for you to relax and get composed and get your emotions back.
The student leader, Peter Akwesi Sapon, said they have no cause to celebrate until all Ghanaian students are evacuated from the conflict zone.
We just want to use the opportunity to still appeal that every single diplomatic string that can be pulled should be pulled to get our colleagues who are still stuck in Sumi. They are going through a lot, emotional challenges, financial challenges, the kind of stress every day they need to escape from a missile is so, deteriorating in their nature.
Government spokesperson for Governance and Security, Mr. Palgrave Boachi Dankwa, said government is determined to evacuate all Ghanaians who avail themselves for the evacuation exercise.
We have also experienced and witnessed that many of the students that we have purchased tickets for at the time of boarding declined to come. And so we are experiencing wastage within the number of students. So we are continually encouraging the students. It is important that you come back home.
Ghana, like other countries, had asked its citizens in Ukraine to run for cover while the government devised means to evacuate them from Ukraine. A total of 150 students have so far been evacuated who safely crossed the Ukrainian border to neighboring Poland, Moldova, Hungary, and the Czech Republic.
Reports reaching GBC News indicates that the Dakbema of Tamale and 2 others have been shot and wounded in an attack on the Dakbema Palace in Tamale this morning. Sources within the Regional Police Command have confirmed the shooting incident, adding that the 3 are receiving treatment at the Tamale Teaching Hospital. The attackers are yet to be identified, but GBC News sources say police are conducting investigations and will soon come out with their findings. And the Northern Regional Police Command is on a manhunt for suspects in the shooting incident.
When we start making the arrests, as we are about to do now, and also trying to conduct joint police military patrols within the city, we are still getting more information, which we think that we may not like to share just so openly like that, because we have suspects to arrest. And we have declared manhunts, or we have declared a kind of police military tracking of those suspects that we believe are involved. And we make sure that for the information that we have, we're about 15 of them, and on the white Toyota Hilux pickup. So we have 15. And we believe there were others too as well. Maybe the numbers may be higher than that. So we will make sure that we pursue them and get them arrested.
Work has formally started on a modern lower secondary school project at Esikado near Sekendi in the Western region. Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia cut the sort for the construction of the school, which will be dedicated for the teaching of science, technology and engineering and mathematics STEM.
Government's industrialization and digitalization agenda for economic growth revolves around science and technology. And the government is starting modern science schools in the country to achieve this plan. At Esikado, a two-story facility to be constructed, which is known as the 21st Century Lower Secondary School, will have 5 different laboratories, including a computer lab, robotics, and artificial intelligence. The plan is to build a more robust educational system. The Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, said it is important to focus more on the sciences to ensure that Ghanaian students become globally competitive, and hence the need for a strong foundation in the STEM arena.
The STEM approach, which we are promoting to education, fosters creative, divergent thinking alongside fundamental disciplines and motivates and inspires young people to generate new technology ideas. Of education, a critical mass of assertive and empowered Ghanaian students with essential skills for socio-economic transformation.
A Deputy Minister for Education, Reverend John Intim-Fojo, said that various interventions in STEM and TVET are to strengthen educational reforms that introduced the junior and senior high schools.
We are introducing our learners even at junior high school to the modern trends in robotics, the modern trends of engineering, and such 21st century concepts that the Vice President, His Excellency Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, has been spearheading. And so, inspired by this vision, we are encouraged even to fast-track these projects.
The Western Regional Minister, Mr. Kwabena Ochiri Dakumensa, lauded initiatives to groom the next generation of talents. The MP for Esikado Ketan, Mr. Joe Gatti, said government has kept faith with the people by gradually transforming Esikado Ketan as the education hub of the Western region. He was optimistic that this will boost economic growth.
Educational facilities as huge as this also bring economic development, because people come and they engage in economic activities within the schools.
The Upper East Regional Minister, Mr. Stephen Yakubu, has handed over the via supply and irrigation scheme in the Bongo district to Messrs. Ranlook Constructions for rehabilitation. The restoration works is scheduled to start this month and is expected to be completed in 30 months.
Details of the contract include restoration of the eroded downstream slope of the dam embankment to improve the dam's stability, rehabilitation of the irrigation canal network, drainage work, construction of farm roads, and perimeter fencing of the irrigable area. At a ceremony to officially hand over the site, the regional minister was happy that the completed work will benefit the people in their quest for water to farm. He also called for quality work from the contractor within the scheduled period.
What we always see is as Northerners, we take our bag, we jump into the car. When you ask where we are going, Tiwana Komasi. And when they say Tiwana Komasi or we are going to Kumasi, they end up in the bush somewhere. Just to farm the same farming that they could have done here. Because there's no water, they have to move miles and they face all sorts of challenges very far away from home.
The facility has a catchment area of about 1,036 kilometers, a total of 850 hectares of rice cultivation, comprising 350 hectares of lowland and 500 hectares of upland for rice production. The chief executive of the Ghana Irrigation Development Authority, GIDA, Mr. Wilson Dakwa, an engineer, appealed to the chiefs and farmers in the area to protect the dam by planting trees around the riverbanks to prevent structures springing up in the catchment area of the dam. A farmer, Mr. Adamu Aganda, told GBC News about the effect of the broken canals of the dam. He pleaded for the speeding up of the projects.
If you go back to see how the canal is, they have all broke. From where they open the water will run at least 11 miles away from here. But now, what we appeal is that we really come for rehabilitation, but not to come and say that we are going to rehabilitate the project for us, and we are all happy. And later we can see that if they're able to rehabilitate to that, we are lucky.
As far back as March 6, 1957, Ghana became the first country in sub-Saharan Africa to gain independence. This great feat played a critical role in socio-economic development and political transformation in Africa. 65 years later, panelists on Talking Point have given Ghana a pat on the back for its role in exhibiting patriotism by promoting and preserving its cultural heritage within the African region and the global space. Other discussions focused on celebrating founding fathers to preserve their legacies and protect their good deeds onto the international community.
I think that we have a very good reason to preserve everything we have in terms of our culture and cultural activities, and we must hold fast to the institutions such as churches should be able to preserve our culture. We must not allow everything to just get away. The school system should be able to preserve much of our culture. You talk about natural resources. I mean, you know that those days in school we have sections, yeah? So sections have places to weed and grow grasses and plants and so on and so forth. It does not exist anymore. You see that parents now go even to help weed campuses for children, which we must do. But let us continue to have a cultural day in our churches. Let people wear their traditional dresses. Let people come and cook, as my church has established now. We have a cultural day. People cook all kinds of things from the north, and then it's distributed among organizations, the churches organization.
Far back in 1949, a Ghanaian in the name of Raphael Grail Amato had been honored as somebody nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize. Wow. A Ghanaian. And he was the first person in the world to have written books in 3 international languages, German, French, and English. And he was a Ghanaian. And it is said that he was one of only 5 people who knew the secret formula of the atomic bomb. And he was a Ghanaian. Wow. Now come to talk about a leading Ghanaian band, Osibisa. Yes. Of all the 100 leading songs in the world, the classical one, a Ghanaian band, Osibisa, has one in it. Wow. Number 2, is the only band on record that toured every country in the world. And Ghanaians do not know this. And our own Kwame Nkrumah, you know, if this man could be said to be Africa's man of the millennium, the only African leader whose statue stands at the forecourt of the AU, and we don't learn these things about our people, then there is much to be desired. Ya Asantewa, the only African, and let me repeat, the only African who fought to protect an African heritage.
Now, captured in the UN's call to action is a need for access to quality education to correspond with adequate infrastructure and resources. A fallout in 1 defeats Sustainable Development Goal 4, seeking to promote inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. The Otekpolu Roman Catholic Primary School in the Yilo-Krobo district of the Eastern Region lacks in these learning opportunities. Authorities of the school are appealing to the government to shift attention to the school to offer the students sound education. Clara Milano reports.
He journeyed from Kumasi in the Ashanti region with high hopes and zeal to begin his teaching profession at his first station, Otekpelu, 4 years ago. However, setting foot on the school's compound was a put-off. His heart sank and hopes dashed. Nothing motivating or inspiring enough to work. But then, he took it a day at a time, teaching, and it's been 4 years now. and still counting. Windowless classrooms with deep cracks, leakages in the roofs, coupled with constant threats from reptiles, are just bits of the struggles teachers and students of the Otekpolu Roman Catholic Primary School contend with. Established by two Roman Catholic missionaries, Reverend Father Titz and Reverend Father Washington in 1938, to nurture children in the community in Western education, the school is yet to taste any good thing.
Ever since I came, I have not seen any renovation work over there. So I cannot tell exactly why it's in this stage. As you can see, all over the building, we have cracks in the building. And the cracks over there, and then the entire building is a death trap. Because when you look at the upper primary and then the lower primary, for instance, the lower primary is hanging.
The condition of the school deters most teachers from accepting postings to the school. And that is the case of the Class 4, without a teacher. The teachers on hand try to manage the situation by shuffling between the classes. However, on the day of my visit, the Class 4 pupils had no teacher's presence and resorted to their notes from morning till the end of the school day.
So, Master, you have been writing their names?
From Kumasi to this place, almost like 5 hours drive. So at dawn, I have to pick a car to this place. When I got to this place, to be frank, looking at the constitution over here, I was somehow worried. This time we had 2 teachers, but after bringing or submitting the letter to the headmaster, he didn't come again. It's very difficult at this time when we are in the rain season. That's where the problem started, because the roofing sheet are not good. So when it's raining, you have to stop everything. I have the case to pack the thesis to a place that maybe they can sit for a while.
With no textbooks for students to study with, teachers had to procure their own textbooks on the market to keep students up with the times.
Textbooks that we bought it from the market, and that is what the teachers are using for now. But for the learners, they don't have any textbook. For instance, if you want to do reading, for every child to read, or as you read, they look through it and then they identify new words, and that one, no. So we don't have textbook in the school.
In a world today where challenges answer to technology, ICT is an indispensable tool to the students to be critical thinkers, problem solvers, enhance research and explore. Uneven distribution of resources and lack of equity means students of this school cannot benefit enough from ICT. There are no computers, and the subject is taught with the teacher's personal laptop.
For personal life, go down. The last one is the personal life. Thank you. You click on it. The teams that appears for you. So you look through the one that you prefer, then you choose. You click on it, then you are done. You click, the menu appear. Is there the second one says what? Click on personal. So you look for personalized. That's the last. So Kobe has done it.
A Get Fund project anticipated to ease the pressure and accommodate the teachers and students of the Otekpolu area started in 2012.
Our school is a death trap, and we don't want to experience anything like disaster in our school here. So I will plead that government should come to our aid and then to complete the building for us. Now, to NGOs and other donors, I know you have been doing it elsewhere, so please come to our aid and then help to raise standard of teaching in the school here by providing us with teaching facilities that will enhance the teachers in this school to do effective work.
Leaving the school, my team and I had grave thoughts and concern for the future of these students, having to compete with their colleagues in other schools in the capital with better facilities and the disparities in the country's education system. For GBC News, Clara Mlano reporting.
One economic venture that is capable of helping Ghana to appreciably increase their foreign exchange earnings under the non-traditional exports is beekeeping. This business, despite requiring relatively less capital to start, is not only ignored by the many job seekers, but also appears neglected by the state in terms of credit support to retain the few people engaged in it. GBC Ashanti regional correspondent Nicholas Osewusu in the following report highlights the intricacies of the lucrative but challenging beekeeping business as shared by an experienced beekeeper, Mr. Mark J.B. Nyante.
Beekeeping, also known as apiculture, involves the conscious effort at attracting, breeding and maintaining bee colonies from the wild as a business venture. In Ghana, only a few people are known to have dared to take the risk in this economic activity for various reasons, including the apparent lack of credit facilities. One of the most experienced beekeepers in Ghana is Mr. Mark J.B. Nyante. He holds a Bachelor of Arts degree in Industrial Arts and Industry and a Master of Business Administration in Entrepreneurship and Small Business Management, both from the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, KNUST. Mr. Nyante is also an artist who plies his trade at the Center for National Culture, or the Kumasi Cultural Center. He has been in commercial beekeeping as an additional source of income since 1994. He told GBC News how he ventured into this risky business of keeping these wild insects, bees.
When the evangelist met me and we were fellowshipping in the things of the Bible, he got me to understand that it is not too good to depend on white-collar job to fend for yourself. And also, if you have to go to the villages to evangelize, you will need to get the people engaged in some profit ventures, money-making ventures. And one of them he introduced to me was beekeeping. And because bees are almost everywhere in Ghana, and it doesn't take so much from you to get the rewards from the bees. So when I got convinced, I also started keeping bees.
Beekeeping is not very well known in Ghana, even though in the rural areas, some individuals occasionally go hunting for honey from the wild, especially during the dry season. Honey is the main factor in the beekeeping enterprise, and Ghana's honey is the premium grade. It is the base ingredient for most orthodox and herbal cough mixtures. Even though beekeeping is said to be lucrative, it is not known to be capital intensive. Mr. Nyante took GBC News through what it takes to go into beekeeping and how to get the best out of the business.
So what you need in the initial stages is that you need to have a place where you want to place, or you want to start the apiary. The apiary is a place where you keep your bees, your hives. Once you site the place, you go and site them. They need shade. And then with the hives, we have this type. It's called Landstrut. You put down one first. Once the bees colonize it, maybe 2-3 months later, then you put the super on it. The idea is that if you put the two together, which is very easy, the possibility of the queen or the bees colonizing the top is greater. And once that one is done, during harvest time, you might harvest everything, including the queen. Once the queen dies or once the queen is dislocated, they may leave the place.
Due to the low commercial interest in beekeeping in the country, there is also virtually no large-scale investment in the production of equipment used for beekeeping. Mr. Nyante has therefore taken advantage of the situation to produce these important materials needed from start to harvest of the honey in beekeeping. These include the hive, wooden or metal stand, overall, gloves, among others. Mr. Nyante does this with a seamstress who is also venturing into the beekeeping business and now learning from the experienced evangelist. The production of these equipment fetches them additional income. Mr. Mark Jebinyante says the beekeeping business is very lucrative, but is however worried that the government has not paid attention to the subsector, which he notes can be exploited by the municipal and district assemblies to employ the teeming unemployed youth. Apart from honey, which is the main target of the business, the wax and other byproducts which are used in the textile industry make beekeeping an important economic activity.
Streetism is a rising social concern as more and more minors and youth take to the streets on a daily struggle to survive. The phenomenon mirrors the increasing number of children who are unable to access their rights to education, safety, quality health care and right to a decent standard of living. The term streetism is used to describe children who live and work on the streets. Unfortunately, this is the result of a surge in urbanization and many difficult socio-economic challenges rural families are experiencing. Last year, April 2021, the Director of Operations Commander, ACP Kwesifore, announced that the police will embark on a series of operations to clear all streets of beggars who were believed to be nationalists of Chad, Mali, Niger, among others. However, the operation seems futile since these kids can be seen parading on the streets accompanied by their parents begging for alms, exposing them to all forms of danger. At the Circle Overhead Bridge, street kids can be seen sitting on the bare floor with their guidance. These beggars have extended their begging activities to the traffic light intersection at Paloma, the Abosokain Mosque and the Liberation Road, where they have littered indiscriminately. A concerned citizen, Mr. Kwame Apia, says city authorities should set up.
Most of foreigners and adults. Anna and San Obiso Abaco be mine, so now also Unya and Krata was a walk or the walk. It is a Sasakan Yan strengthen Sa area. Ama Yan Hinia, Abeka Krobia, who will be beating me about Omanum, Ama Yahuchabede, Ebebre.
The United Nations identifies street children based on the absence of adult supervision. It also defines street children as children for whom the street more than their family has become their real home, a situation in which there is no protection, supervision or direction from responsible adult. It's quite alarming to watch these children run around with no caution at the risk of being knocked down by moving vehicles. A night drive through Accra reveals how these children, after a tough day of seeking to make ends meet, being recruited into dangerous vices such as armed robbery and prostitution, among others. Child rights activists say the government, social welfare authorities, philanthropists and other bodies that work for the welfare of street children should coordinate their activities by pooling resources together to address the challenges faced by children who live on the streets. Poliomyelitis, a vaccine-preventable disease, still threatens children of the world. As part of the global campaign, Rotary Clubs of Ghana embarked on an awareness initiative dubbed Walk for Polio. It was to create awareness and raise funds to support the Rotary Foundation to help eradicate polio.
Converging at 6 a.m. at cantonments in Accra, members of the various Rotary clubs within District 9102 began their awareness-creating walk. They went through Dankwa Circle, through the Sankara Underpass to the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation area on the Ring Road Central, then to the Nima Police Station and ended up at the Ghana Prisons Canteen. Rotary believes this is an important event to draw attention to its efforts to help eradicate polio. Rotary clubs in Ghana are raising raising funds to regularly donate to the Rotary Foundation to help fight the crippling disease. Mrs. Violet Anna Osei is the chairperson of the fundraising committee of the Rotary Foundation in Ghana. She pledged Rotary's continued support to various causes and said, over the years, the club has been able to sustain its fundraising to support the needy. Rotary presented 2 desktop computers, a printer, 600 books from the Rotary Center, some medicines from Pharma Novo and Olsen's pharmacies to the Senior Correctional Center of the Ghana Prison Service. The Assistant Director of Prisons, the second in command at the Senior Correctional Center, Mrs. Victoria Azewuda, thanked Rotary for their continued support and was especially grateful for the medicines for the juveniles. The Walk for Polio also seeks to encourage people to get out and walk, improve their health and fitness, as well as their mental health.
16-year-old Nancy Gameli has been diagnosed with osteoblastoma, a bone-forming tumor. Nancy Gameli and her grandmother, Madame Theresa Amu, are appealing to the general public for financial assistance of 50,000 Ghana cedis for corrective surgery.
Nancy Gameli is a Class 6 pupil of the Mataheko Roman Catholic Basic School located in the Ablekuma Central Municipal Assembly. The 13-year-old, according to doctors' reports, bruised her leg during the COVID-19 lockdown, but all efforts to fully cure her proved futile. Her untreated condition has resulted into osteoblastoma. Osteoblastoma is a benign bone-forming tumor that is extremely rare, accounting for only 1% of all primary bone tumors. Treatment of osteoblastoma usually involves surgery to remove the tumor. Nancy and her grandmother, Madame Theresa Amu, are appealing to the general public, philanthropists, and benevolent organizations to support them with 50,000 Ghana cedis to cover the cost of surgery at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital.
Long time also could dear agro no bofum. Obani haka kreti if ya na ekasi medina nantisa nkofo de beto duane kura de adi nkofo na yema doye ene de nkakranka ga de to duane di sesi ase na ekon na no ya na ekasi ne de ba kolobu yenye skampo to duane enu mpo amanfo na boaye sesi o mse nke yenko fie na urade adum ya be ye dan ti ya o mse ye ne surgeon so no 500 million. Me who be am ko fabi. Se se nkofo e madan nyom so mo abre. Enti ayi se me so me di beto amanfo ni. No mo boa me wakura yi ho. Sa se me ni hwefo bia me asoma yare 3 years me ko be bia se na di beto duane di kura den mai. Me ni bi. Enti me sere urade se urade enko bia kuma no mo mo am ne mfanya kura yi. Enama no mo se ya nya bi ombetwa.
Nancy told GBC News that her ambition is to pursue law and become a judge in future, but she fears her dream may not come true due to her deteriorating condition, which has left her out of school for 2 years.
Right now, I can't go to school because of this. Right, my friends have left me because I can't go to school. So I'm pleading all of you to help me.
Kindly support Nancy Gameli's surgery by donating to Theresa Amu on MTN mobile money number 059 131 6296 059 131 6296.
The Muslim Women in Teaching Ghana has launched a project that aims to develop the skills of Muslim girls in digital technology and entrepreneurship. The initiative seeks to equip the Muslim girl with employable skills to help reduce child marriage within the Zango community.
This is the maiden annual general meeting of the Muslim Women in Teaching Ghana, a not-for-profit organization. The meeting focused on ways to develop the skills and employability of the Muslim girl through technology and vocational training. While the projects will empower the Zongo girl with employable skills, it will also help in bridging the gender gap in STEM disciplines in the country.
We need to encourage our brothers and sisters. Observe, most of the people selling these herbal medicines, even those that are made very well, happen to be Muslims. The Akobams and others, they are Muslims who own those companies. So we have a capacity to take advantage of such. And if we are doing that and we have our young ones who are trained to have some formal education of that, I think that it will help the Muslim community.
The coordinator for the Zongo Development Secretariat, Mr. Ben Abdallah, said the project's objectives are in sync with the government's vision for the Zongo community.
We've all agreed and said the best way out is to encourage our girls and our boys to do STEM education, vocational education. I will even want to add law. Because when STEM education and vocational educations have been relevant in the past, they are relevant today, and they will be relevant tomorrow. They will never outlive their usefulness.
The headmistress of Suhum Girls Senior High School, Mrs. Safiatu Salifu, appealed to the leadership of the Muslim community to support the initiative. She was hopeful the project will help change the narrative and perception about the Zongo community.
You're watching News Are live on GBC News and on GTV, also streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube at Ghana Broadcasting Corporation. We'll be back shortly. Please stay.
Every Wednesday at 9:05 a.m. live on GBC News, Unique 95.7 and all GBC regional stations, and on Facebook at Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, and a repeat on the same day at 11 p.m. on GTV. Focus, putting the issues in perspective.
Get ready! Ready for super duper experience. Quality entertainment. Real issues, real opinions from fashion, tourism, arts, music, movies, and many more. It's time for something unfiltered. Spectacle, a new television entertainment show ready to correct refractive errors in the creative arts industry. Spectacle, real entertainment, real people. Spectacle, Yabba, Nayabba. Spectacle. It's all about entertainment.
It is a nightmare dealing with the filth in Accra. The gutters are choked with garbage. The streets are a jumble of filth. The beauty of the serene beaches is marred with human feces and plastics, as many defecate in the open. Residents are up in arms when the situation gets out of hand.
Because of these litter, you can't even stand there for even a minute. As we speak here, if the mosquitoes even refuse to breed on it.
Partners in sanitation suggest alternative policy interventions.
Landfilling is not the way forward. We are recommending treatment facilities.
But in all of this, have we made gains in the sector?
How can you have a people who have a lot of dignity
and still practicing open defecation.
The task facing Ghana to achieve SDG Goal 6 on clean water and sanitation for all is Herculean and riddled with equally complicated hurdles. Join us every Thursday on Wash Hour from 4:05 p.m. to 5 p.m. as we seek to put these issues and more in perspective. Watch a repeat on Fridays from 1 to 2 p.m. and on Sundays 9:30 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. It is our duty to keep our surroundings clean and free from disease.
Come back, time now for business. Now, do you want to change the looks of the interior seating of your car, transforming old and raggedy looking car seats into new and flashy looking ones? Is a trade of Patrick Moses Takba at Amanfrom near Amra here in Accra. GBC News spent some time with an automotive upholsterer, Patrick Moses Takba, who gave us insights into the automotive upholstery business, challenges he faces, and how he plans to digitize his trade in the near future. A story by Esther Edu Ohumeu.
Upholstery is the work of providing seats with pattern, springs, fabrics or leather. An automotive upholsterer, also known as a motor trimmer, is your go-to person to give your car seat a makeover. One of such people is Patrick Moses Takba. Patrick has been an automotive upholsterer since 2003 after being trained in the upholstery business at Odorna in Accra.
I have a lot of work like this day. Since January, I've not been resting at all. Even I have to work in the night. So that's how I do the work. First, it was like Christmas time, you have a lot of work. But these days, since last year to this year, I see the work coming every day.
Starting his day from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. almost every business day, Patrick says the need to put food on the table is what pushes him from bed every morning. With 3 children and a wife, Patrick says that is enough reason to carry his tools to work to change car seats from their tattered state to a stunning one. According to Patrick, it can take about 3 days to get one job done, and he charges between 500 and 1,000 cedis for a job done, depending on the detailing that will be involved.
The lowest, the simple style, the old design, lowest 500, 600. But if the person wants the upgraded one like this one with industrial stitches, that one is 800 cedis. If the person wants to do the lining for the floor, in addition to the seat, it's 1,000 Ghana.
According to him, there are not a lot of challenges in the job, if not for customers who cannot make up their minds on the type and style of materials they want, leading to him incurring unnecessary cost.
Some of them are not straightforward. Today they say do it like this, maybe this color. After you buy the color, then they come and say, oh, okay, I have seen another one. So let's use that one. What you have bought, let's leave that one. So those are always challenges in this way.
Patrick says although he is willing to train the youth for free in learning his trade, to his utmost surprise, no one is interested to be trained in the upholstery business.
I do announcements in churches, in my own church, but I have not gotten anybody. Every day the cars are coming, and every day the old ones are getting problems. They have to be renewed, they have to be repaired, they have to be sewn. So a time will come, I don't know how it will look like, but it will be difficult to be getting people to continue this work.
For Patrick, he has made plans to upgrade his trade by learning some computer skills to enable him practice his business digitally in the near future.
We need to upgrade every day. So I will be ready, and I will be happy if I have the opportunity to learn how to use computer to do some of these things.
As a head pastor of the Christ Pentecostal Redemption Ministry, Patrick called on the youth to quench their desires, to look for quick and fast money and learn trades such as upholstery to sustain themselves. He is optimistic that when that is done, the future of the business will not be as bleak as it is now.
I've not had any school like that. But what I know is, for me, like, I even want to train the people if they are ready for free. I'll train them. If government want to sponsor them, fine. If whatever, NGO, whatever, I'll train them. Only if they are ready and they want to learn it.
But how does he combine ministry with the upholstery business?
It's not easy at all. It's not easy combining this work and ministry. But by the grace of God, I manage the two.
The global automotive seat cover market was valued at $5.1 billion in 2019 and is expected to reach $8.3 billion by 2030. But in Ghana, there is no study done to show our market share and what can be done in terms of policy by government to upgrade the skills of those in the industry to enable them reap the full benefits of this ever-growing industry. Esther Edu Ohumeu, GBC News, Accra.
The Ghanaian Union of Traders Association has debunked claims that the association is deliberating on ways to increase the price of their products on the market. According to the president of GUTA, Dr. Joseph Obin, the association cannot, in their capacity, call for price increment on goods. According to Dr. Obin, individuals can, however, increase their prices depending on the cost incurred in importing the item into the country.
We are not in price control regime where a group of people will sit down and one day say that we are going to increase our prices. It's never done. We are in a competitive market, a very open market and all that. And no association, not even GUTA that I represent, can tell any individual to increase his price. It's never done. The only problem is that the dollar is a key factor of costing. So if you use the dollar to buy goods outside, and especially at this time where commodity prices have gone up, you are going to buy at a higher price. And then you come here, the exchange rate is also high. And then we use the same dollar also as a benchmark of paying the duties. It means that when it goes up, naturally, it will affect pricing.
Now, 14 new business personalities have been inducted into the Corporate Ghana Hall of Fame. The event, the fifth in the series, was on the theme Promoting Business in Partnership to Support Economic Growth in Ghana.
14 new business personalities with proven track records in business ideas and corporate industry management were inducted into the Ghana Corporate Hall of Fame. The Corporate Ghana Hall of Fame is a group of current and former board chairpersons and chief executive officers who are actively working, retired, or are getting to retirement, but their business growth across the country deserves to be recognized. The inductees were presented with plaques, badges, and citations detailing their achievements in their various fields of operation over the years. The new inductees took an oath binding them to remain committed to the tenets of the business industry in Ghana.
Our work with the Health Sector Occupational Pension Scheme has seen the light, and then we have been recognized for it. For health sector workers, our major challenge has been pensions, and a lot of people go on pensions, having worked their back, they go with lots of diseases, lots of things, and they have nothing to help them. And because of that, we have been doing everything possible to ensure that we secure a very good retirement income for them.
What we want to tell the youth is that there are a number of things that needs to be done. So they should cultivate the habit of having a vision, identify 3 problems, and write down solutions, 3 solutions to it. Prioritize them and begin to work on them. You realize you are in a business.
The event offered the opportunity for attendees to socialize and network with some of the CEOs in corporate Ghana and in Africa.
And on the foreign front, President Volodymyr Zelensky says Ukraine will not forgive Russia for all the casualties and sufferings in the war. It started accusing Russian forces of targeting civilians. Zelensky made the comments during an address on Forgiveness Sunday, a special religious day on which, according to the Eastern Orthodox Church tradition, people ask each other for forgiveness. According to the United Nations figures, at least 364 civilians have been killed and 759 others injured in Ukraine since Russia launched the war on February 24.